Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I have the September installment of my book club. This is what I call the Makeup Panners book club, and I created this project pan. So it's a project pan where I work on makeup, but I also want to talk about books. So this is the perfect marriage between books and makeup. So if you enjoy books and makeup, maybe you should join me with this project pan. I don't know, just a suggestion. Anyways, so I made this project pan because I want, as I said, I want to talk about books, I want to talk about makeup. I also feel like this project pan has really helped me to read more, because if I just update each month with the same books, that is maybe a failure. So I have been very motivated to keep reading and working through the piles of books in my shelves that I have not yet read. And I just realized that my little mushroom there wasn't turned on, but now we have it there. Okay, so what do I do in this project? I read books and then I choose specific makeup items or beauty items that correspond to something in the book. It can be very broadly interpreted or very, very specific. It's really, you have to be creative. So I've been working on or doing this project since January, and I have been really, really successful with, everything that I have read and all the things that I have panned. So last update, I was reading this book. This is When the Moon Hatched, and I was inspired to read this. I bought this because Angelica Nyqvist, she posted on her Insta story that she really, really enjoyed this book. And she said that if you have fourth wing withdrawal or ACOTAR withdrawal, she really recommended this one. And I have not read ACOTAR, but I have read fourth wing and really enjoyed that book. So, I was influenced to get this. So this is, as I said, When the Moon Hatched by Sarah A. Parker. And this is a book, you follow the protagonist is called Rave, and she's an assassin. And right away when you start reading this book, you meet Rave when she's on a mission. So she's hunting down a person that she is going to assassin. So that's you're thrown right into the story. And I really appreciate Rave as a protagonist because she's not a fragile woman. In a lot of these romantasy books, you have this very fragile female trope protagonist, but Rave is not that. The further you read, though, you realize that something is amiss. There is something with Rave, something weird. People who she meets throughout this story, they react weird when they see her. They recognize her, they know her from someone. She doesn't know herself. She has this split personality. So each chapter is, you can see what the point of view is, and there is the other part of Rave, which the reader really doesn't know what is this the other personality that we sometimes meet. But this is a story about dragons, about FAE. I'm not really into the fairies, FAE genre thing.
Fairy lives don't matter today.
So this is the first time dipping my toes into that. And it wasn't too bad. She is actually, during a mission, she is caught and she's prosecuted. She's supposed to be fed to dragons. And then she is saved by this mysterious man, and his name is Khan. And he is one of the three kings ruling this fantasy world. So Khan is the king over the Burn, and then his two brothers are kings over other places in this world. And it's the story is about her, their relationship. Why did he decide to save her? What history do they have? Why doesn't she remember anything? And also, there are dragons. So I really enjoyed this book. I have finished it. So last time I think I had read about, 200 pages maybe. Now I have finished this book and I highly recommend it. I don't really know how to summarize it very well. I'm sorry about that. But if you like strong female protagonists, if you like dragons, if you like romance, but it's not a romantic story. So this is not romance, but it is, there is some spicy scenes in this book. But I really enjoyed it, and I'm looking forward to reading the next one whenever that one will be released. But I have finished this book. So let me talk about the items that I enrolled because of this book. I did enroll 2 makeup items. So the first one is this highlighter. So this is a highlighter from Odensai. It's in the shade Moon Tears. And when the moon hatched, Moon Tears. Moons in this book are actually dragons. So when a dragon dies, they kind of curl up and then they rise to the sky and become a moon. So there are many, many moons in this fantasy world because of all the dragons that have died throughout history. And let's just leave it like that. So this highlighter, I don't know if I said how many times I wanted to use this last update. I might have forgotten, but I wanted to use it 15 times. So you can see what it looked like when I rolled it in. This is a very, very, very glittery highlighter. It is insanely glittery. And honestly, not my favorite. So this is what it's looking like now. You can clearly see where I have put my brush. But you also see on the edges here, you see all the glitter sparkle. And I've been trying to swipe my finger because there is an overspray on this highlighter, and I've been swiping my finger to get that spray off, but I haven't been completely successful. I feel like I'm a bit dark. Am I? It's because of the new hair. So I am not loving it. I have used it 15 times, so I am going to roll it out. I mean, it swatches very nice, but I don't know if it's like an issue that I need to wet my brush when I put on highlighter. In 2016 when we really wanted it to be blinding. I don't know if that's the case, because I just feel like when I use a brush that I'm just getting like glitter, and it's not what I want. So that's, it is looking super nice on the swatch, but yeah. I have used it 15 times, so I am going to roll it out. I also enrolled this red lipstick from Giverny. I think it's a Korean brand. This is a liquid lipstick in like a bluish red color. And why did I enroll this one? Well, when you first meet Rave, as I said, she's on a mission. She's hunting down a prey, or whatever we want to call it, to kill. And she wears a red dress to lure him in. So I just took, a red dress, a red lipstick. Perfect. So that is the shade here, and I wanted to use this only 8 times. A red lipstick is not anything that I wear on a daily basis, so I thought 8 times, then I will know what I feel about this formula. And as of today, I have used it 5 times, and this is beautiful. I have really, really been loving wearing this. It is so comfortable, and it stays put all day. Because that's my issue with red lipsticks. I feel like I need to think about my lips so much when I wear red. Like, has it worn off in the middle, or has it bled out somewhere? Is it on my teeth? This one is just, it stays put. I can, if I have eaten something very oily, I need to reapply it because it has worn off. But it's not like it wears off just by existing. It's like when you eat and stuff, that's when it wears off and you have to reapply. But that's with every lipstick. So I have really, really enjoyed wearing this one. It will stay in for the next month, and I will use it the 3 remaining times with no problem at all. Okay, so other than that, I have been working on a lip liner. This has been in for a couple of months now, or for a very long time, since I read the book the Priory of the Orange Tree. That's when I rolled this pencil in. So this is just a red lip liner, and I had a very, very ambitious goal. You can see it swatched there. I had the goal to reach the marking, like one of the symbols here with the hand on, so you can see on the what it has been looking like throughout the months. And I thought, because this is such an old lip liner that I need to really wear it, I want to get it out of my collection. However, like, I have worn this lip liner so much, basically, like, because I've been wearing very nude, neutral shade, so I have been making it a bit more red by using this lip liner all over my lips and then adding that lipstick on top. And I'm nowhere near where I wanted to finish it. I have used this one 15 times since last update, and this is what we're looking like. So I mean, I have so much left, and I also have a lip liner that I want to finish in my collection this year. So I'm thinking, I don't know if I'm gonna roll it out now, but I'm thinking that if I use this lip liner an additional 15 times, then I know that I have at least used it. I have at least used it then like 70 times or more in this project. If I use it 50 more times, I can roll it out. I'm changing my goal because I can't do it. I need to use that other lip liner as well and not just use a red. So that is the change that we're doing. There aren't many months left anyways, so I'm no way in hell I'm gonna finish all of that until December. It ain't happening. Okay, so let's talk about, before I'm talking about the book that I'm currently reading, let's talk about what else I have read during this month. And there's only one thing, and that's fine. This is a big book, a thick book. And so the only book that I have finished other than that is this book. So this is from the Swedish author Malin Persson Gilioto, and it's called Dina händer, or In Your Hands. And this was what I picked from my TBR. I always add at the end when I pick the next TBR for the coming month. So I picked this one. This is a fictional story about two young boys who are being pulled into gang violence and gang or criminality. There is a rise in Sweden with children, very young teenagers and so on, who are recruited into gangs and criminal networks, and yeah, it's a big problem. So this is just a story inspired by, you know, how can that happen? What is happening in our society that allows criminals to recruit children to commit crime, to commit murder, and so on. So you follow two boys, Dogge and Billy, and then you also read from the perspective of the police, Farid, who is investigating these murders, because in the beginning of the story there is a murder. One of the boys, Billy, a 14-year-old boy, is shot, and the story is like, how did this happen? Why did this happen? How did these two, Billy and Dogge, his friend, how did they get involved in all of the, like, in crime and so on? What went wrong? So you read from the police perspective, sometimes from like the parents' perspective and so on. So it was really good because you got an insight in many, like, not only the boys, but you got an insight in like the parents, the family situation and everything. And I really think that this author is really great. I think she handles difficult societal problems. She wrote a different book about a school shooting, which is like, it doesn't happen in Sweden. But she had an interesting twist on like what can bring a person to, you know, bring guns to school and shoot their classmates. So, really enjoyed this one. And then since that is the only other book I finished, I am currently reading a book, and that's also what I picked for my TBR, if you saw my last update. So I'm currently reading this book. This is Three Assassins by Kotaro Isaka, a Japanese author. And it's the same author who wrote Bullet Train, which I haven't read, but I have seen the movie, and it's really great. If you haven't watched Bullet Train, I highly recommend it. It's very enjoyable. So this is about, as it says on the front page here, their mission is murder, his is revenge. So this is written from the perspective of the three assassins. You have, or not the three assassins, you read from the perspective of two assassins. The Whale is the nickname of one of these assassins, and the Cicada. So the Whale, he specializes in, he gets people to commit suicide just by talking to them, or like he kills people, meaning he talks to them and they commit suicide, which is interesting. It reminded me of the villain in, if you have seen Sherlock, the BBC show, you have the villain in the first season, A Study in Pink. It's kind of the same idea. The Cicada his nickname comes from him being very talkative, and cicadas it's like a cricket, and he kills people with his knife. Then you also have the Pusher, which is the third assassin. He kills people by pushing them in front of trains, cars, and this Pusher, you don't read anything from his perspective, but he is like the main mystery assassin, and this person, his revenge is the perspective of Suzuki. He's a math teacher who seeks revenge for his wife being killed by the Pusher. And it's basically like Bullet Train, because when you read and you get into the story, you realize that many things here are connected to each other, and you want to see how is everything connected, because they are working in like the same square, and you see like, okay, that person ran out and then that person pushed him in front of the car, and they are at the same place, but they don't know that they are at the same place. And it is very like a mystery, and you're interested to solve, to figure it out, how is everything connected and so on. And I really enjoyed the writing style. It's very straightforward. It's kind of harsh, because sometimes I feel like when reading literature from Asia that it's like a very pretentious language, and you're really not getting, you have to be so philosophical, and so this is not that. It's very straightforward, very crass, and I enjoy it. So I have read a bit more than half of this book thus far, and I plan to finish this book before I actually travel to Japan. So what am I going to bring in for this book? So for this book I'm bringing in two items. One is I'm replacing a highlighter with a highlighter. So I'm bringing in this highlighter from the Pastel Roses. It's the Ghost Glow highlighter, and this is perfect for Halloween as well. It's a very stunning highlighter. It is not as glittery as the other one. You can see quite clearly how glittery that Odin's Eye is in comparison. It has like a slight green to peach look. I really enjoy this highlighter. But then you ask, why am I bringing in this highlighter? How does this connect to that novel? So, The Whale, this assassin who kills by talking to people, he drives them to commit suicide. He is actually seeing ghosts, basically. He tells himself that he is not bothered by all of the people he has killed. He has killed like 38 people. But obviously he is, because he is seeing all the people who he has killed. He's seeing them and he cannot, like, it is disturbing him so much, so he's putting his, like, his assassin skills, everything that he is at risk, because he cannot unsee the ghosts. They are there, and he talks to them, and other people, you know, they can't see what he sees. So he is basically haunted by all of the people that he has killed. So that's why we're putting in Ghost Glow there. And then I'm putting in a highlighter, an eyeshadow. So this is the Japan Volume 2 eyeshadow palette by the brand Unique. Is it Unique Beauty? Yeah, Unique Beauty. I will link it in the description box. I don't know if this brand still exists, but they are a UK-based brand. And yeah, I'm bringing in a Japan eyeshadow because the story is told in Japan. So this is just a really cute 6-pan. And Unique Beauty has some good shimmer shades. I mean, look at that. Why are no one talking about this brand? I don't get it. You see that it's like a pink to a gold, and that very, very, very gold shade. That is not a duochrome, or maybe it is, like slight red tone to it. It's just so pretty. So my goal for this one, my goal for this one is to use the highlighter 15 times. My goal for the eyeshadow will be to use it no pan left behind and try and hit 1 pan, as I always do. I hope I can hit the pan before the end of the year, but since I will be traveling, I don't think I'm gonna bring this because it's a bit fragile. This golden shade is a bit, it looks like it's gonna fall out of the pan any second. But I'm gonna try and hit pan before the end of the year. And I see myself finishing this book, as I said, by the next week, because we will be traveling then, and I want to bring new books when I, like, on the long flights. So, now I want to show you the books that I'm planning to read in October. Okay, it is time to pick new TBR for October. And we are in spooky months. So what I have been thinking that I want to read is this classic, The Haunting of Hill House by Shirley Jackson. I saw the TV show that was released, I think, when it was 2018. It was so good. It was very scary. It was like a horror show, but it was so beautifully directed. And I've had this book for a while now at my at home, so I feel like I want to read this. I also, interestingly enough, saw I follow a YouTuber called Super iPad Wolf, and he does this like really nice video essays on things. And he had an essay about social anxiety horror, and he was talking a lot about Shirley Jackson's work, how she, like, her horror elements are actually like social anxiety. Don't know if it's accurate for this book in particular, but a lot of her short stories. So I think I'm gonna pick this one. Also, I am, as I say in all videos now, I'm gonna travel to Japan, which means that I will spend a lot of time on the flight and at airports. So I need to at least 3 books, one for each, like for the journey there, and then one for the travel back home, and then maybe 1 book when we're there, because we will travel a lot in Japan as well. But what else? The question is, I have been thinking about this book for a long time. This is Imaginary Friend by Steven Chbosky. It's like, I think it's a horror book. It's a big boy though, and I don't know if it will be annoying to travel with or not. But that is a potential book. Oh, let me show you what I have been thinking about as well. So this is my other bookshelf and I have books at a different place as well, but this is the other shelf. I have, look at this book. This is like an IKEA catalog. It's so fun. I'm not gonna pick that one. This one. Maybe I should pick this for November. I don't know if you know anything about this book, but it's also from watching Super Eye Patch Wolf. He was talking about this book and how, I don't remember the terminology for a book that's not linear, or like you don't read it from the beginning to the end. Like, look at this. So this is a horror book about like a house that's behaving weird. I don't know what to say, but it's like they kind of lose their minds. This is, I think it's supposed to be like the journal of the man who moved there, and it is looking so interesting. But I mean, there we have text here. I definitely want to read this spooky season, but it is a heavy boy. So I don't think I'm gonna pick this one when I travel. Maybe I will pick this one for November to read because I really want to read it. But maybe not. So I need a different book. I haven't read this one. But I already have my classics. So maybe I can pick something a bit more upbeat. What do we think? I have a lot of murder books. We have My Murder, Diary of a Murder, The Last Murder at the End of the World. And we have My Sister, the Serial Killer. What do I read? This one is supposed to be nasty. Tender is the Flesh. Supposed to be like a dystopian, gory piece of work. Or do we pick... Maybe I can have these books. Will this be fine? So if I read this going there, and then these two are quite thin, so do I feel happy with that? I might change my mind packing, but I think that's the way to do it for my TBR for October. Alright guys, so that is it for this update. I really hope that you enjoyed, and please, let me know what you think about this project. Do you Do you do something similar yourself? How is your reading journey going this year? Have you read more or less than you usually do? And yeah, just say hi in the comments. I always love to hear from you, and I hope to see you in my next video as well. Bye guys!